joining us now is Saran Mansournia. He's a Kurdish activist from Iran with the Hiwa Freedom Foundation in the Netherlands. So I first want to just ask you about how ordinary Iranians, especially children, families, are coping with these escalating strikes. What are you hearing from people on the ground?
Thanks for having me. So I think in the first days of the airstrikes, especially over the last weekend, many Iranians, I can say majority of Iranians felt relieved and were happy after the supreme leader was killed, the Ayatollah Khamenei, on Saturday. But that feeling changed very quickly as civilian areas and civilian zones, including schools and homes, were also affected by these airstrikes. So relief gave way to fear and concern. The Minab school strikes, as you mentioned, was especially shocking and had a real impact on public opinion.
Right.
After that, many people felt that nowhere was safe, nowhere is safe, and that anything could happen. As you say, the internet shutdown made the situation even worse, and based on our experience, we know that there is no reliable public warning system in Iran. So all of these situations caused people are simply afraid of what comes next.
Right. Of course, you just spoke about the Minab school strike. There was initially a perception that perhaps the Islamic Republic could have been involved in that. Now, of course, U.S. investigators are saying that they're looking into the potential that that was a mistake by an American jet. But, I want to talk to you about what the wider Iranian public feels right now in terms of the steps that come next year, especially in terms of leadership. Does the wider Iranian public support the idea of Kurdish militias attacking the Islamic Republic? How is this being perceived?
When we talk about Kurds, we should go back to the whole Iran. Iran is a multicultural and multi-ethnic country. So I think there is no single opinion, a single public opinion that can speak for everyone. What we can say for sure is that majority of Iranians, after 74 years of Islamic Republic rule, they no longer want this regime. But the question of the future is more complex because there are many different demands, there are many different concerns and political visions in Iran. That is why no single group can represent everyone. The future of Iran has to be built through dialogue, negotiation, and an inclusive public political process. As for Kurds that you asked about, for more than a century, different regimes in Iran have portrayed Kurdish parties as a threat. So it's not surprising that some people inside Iran have influenced by these narratives, by this propaganda. But unfortunately, as we can see through social media and media, there are some monarchist and royalist groups are still repeating the same separatist discourse, the same propaganda against Kurds today, a propaganda that the Islamic Republic has been using for more than 4 decades for suppressing Kurds.
Yeah, I think obviously it really is just interesting to also hear what Iranians have to say, more specifically about Trump's remarks that he wants to be involved in choosing the next successor. How is that being perceived?
I think for Kurds, the most threat is that Kurdistan will be a battlefield for this war. I mean, the battlefield among Iran on one side, the Iranian regime, the Islamic Republic, and Israel and United States on the other side. And during the last few months, Kurds also had a very negative experience from United States in Rojava. And actually, the Iranian Kurds don't want to repeat that mistake and relied completely on the United States.
Well, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us, Soren. Really interesting to hear what you had to say.